In the tunnel.
In the tunnel.
In the tunnel. You're listening to In the Tunnel.
Hello and welcome to In the Tunnel, episode number 45.
45 or 44 part B or 2 if you are a stickler for D.
It is technically a different topic, is it not?
It is a Sunday, so really, what is Sunday's not for the numbers. Sundays, well, not until football season.
Yeah, so today we'll be focusing on the NHL side of the offseason because we did NBA yesterday.
Yeah, whatever that thing's called.
So let's just get straight into it. NHL, we just wanted to throw this up here because yesterday's episode or Saturday's episode had the number of NBA trades in their entire draft, and they only have 60 picks. The number was super high. It was over half of the trades. Half the picks have been traded.
Yeah, 39 of 60.
Yeah, so here we took the first two rounds of the NHL draft, and there are 62 picks in those first two rounds, and we have 25 have been traded.
Right, and I think like 3 of them shouldn't even count because they all had to do with the Mike Hoffman last year with like how bad his was it girlfriend or wife was.
Yeah.
So a lot of picks were traded there. So really, it's probably like 21, 20.
Yeah, and we do have some picks that went to more than one team, but not a lot. Like we highlighted the ones, and I can bring up the NBA one, but the NBA had a lot of picks that traded hands. We highlighted like over 10.
Didn't count.
We highlighted 13.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
There's 13 there.
There's 13 there, Sean.
Yes, and there's definitely not that many here.
Correct. Yeah. I've highlighted none of them.
Yeah, but like the 20th pick was the first one in the draft to change hands more than once, right?
Right, and it just went back to Winnipeg. So did it really even change hands more than once? You be the judge.
I don't know. All right. Anyway, let's
that Kevin Hayes or whatever his name. He must have been really good to warrant that draft pick getting traded back.
Yeah. So yeah, let's just get straight on to the actual results of the first round of the NHL draft. Yeah, as you can see, we have our wheels picks. Our wheel picked the first 15, so we'll show them side by side with the actual results.
We got pretty close on this one again. Not necessarily on this slide, but just in general.
Yeah, I think the wheel had some pretty close picks, but like overall, it was shooting for the stars.
Well, let me indulge you on this, Sean. Look at picks 5 and 6 and tell me, did they not draft the same position?
They did.
Basically the same person in the first round. Anybody can be a star in the first round.
I guess you're right, but yeah, you'll see next slide though. I think there was one pick in particular that our wheel missed out by just a little bit, right? So on the left we have our wheel which did Jamison Reese, Cedar, then Dorofiev.
See, we had Jamison Reese going number 1, by far maybe our wheel spin prediction. He ended up going number 44, so
Yeah.
you're just a smidge lower on the board.
Yeah. And then the wheel predicted Pod Colson going 7, but he actually didn't fall too much farther than the top 7, so that's pretty good. As far as actual, like, Hughes, Kako, Dosh, Byram, Turcotte, Cedar, I mean, we had Cedar 2 to 6. That's the wheel's not that bad there, and then
Nope.
Cousins, but yeah, that's how most people expected it.
The wheel's an admirable foe for anyone who breaks.
Anyway, moving on to the next 8 picks. So as you can see here, we had the wheel had Kako going 8th, which is a little weird, but
Who cares?
the one thing I wanted to bring up was Pod Colson actually went 10th.
Yeah,
So
we had him going 7 or
yeah,
something like that.
so it wasn't too far out.
Well, also, if you look at Matthew Boldy, who went 12, and we had him going 30, you tell me how far off we really were in this draft.
And then Turcotte went 12th. He actually went 5th, was it?
Yeah.
So,
We
I
had,
mean,
we had a lot that were in the general of the lottery. Broberg also went top 7. We had him at, or I'm sorry, he went 8. Actually, we had him in the top 7 projected.
yeah.
So, not far off. I
Right.
think Broberg, if I may look back at what we did here, and if you'd indulge me for a second, Mr. Sean, we had him at 6, and he went 8.
Yeah, true. That was a
So
pretty close one.
the wheel done good. It did better than in the NBA.
Yeah, the only thing I was kind of surprised in the when the actual draft happened that the Coyotes traded up 3 picks. But I guess the top
Especially,
picks of the NHL draft make a little bit of difference.
yeah, but
So
especially to draft a defenseman where we had them think a defenseman who was already there at 14.
yeah, but I mean, then again, the wheel picked the defenseman. Did the team actually want
Okay.
it?
You bring up points, but we're not about good or bad points here. We're just about points.
Right. So let's just quickly run through the last 16 picks that our wheel didn't actually pick. So yeah,
Big draft.
I don't know, like most of these
I
players, like we had Ryan Suzuki going in our top 15. Actually, I think at 15.
Yep. And he went 28,
Mm-hmm.
which I mean he fell. I was watching the draft. He fell. He
Yeah.
probably could have gone earlier.
Yeah, but I mean, I think
Um,
15th was a stretch, but I do think he could have gone quite a bit earlier.
yes.
Aside from that, like, yeah, we had Hinola go like 14. He actually went 20, so that's not that bad either.
Nope. Not bad at all.
So I
Yeah,
actually think our wheel did semi decent today.
it did, and eventually we'll get into the complex stuff in years to come of when the wheel decides do you trade your pick or not.
Yeah,
That would be funny.
that would take a really advanced wheel though.
Well, not just a yes or no, and to who.
Yep. Anyway, moving on. Now that we've seen the first round, we are going. The wheel has expressed its desire to grade the draft.
This shit again.
So,
The wheel is basically the main host, and we just are its sponsors.
yeah, so without further ado, it gets what it desires. And we start with the Anaheim Ducks.
Sure, alphabetically speaking.
Yeah, the wheel gives the Anaheim Ducks a B. What do you have to say about that, Jeremy?
They had a first round pick, if I recall. Let's see. They're getting rid of they got rid of the Corey Perrys and the aging wonders.
Yep.
So they actually had 2 first-round picks, which is a big deal for them. So I'd say one of them pans out.
Okay.
You don't need 2 when you have 2 first-round picks.
Okay. And then it goes right back and gives the Coyotes a B. So apparently its trade up 3 spots was a good idea.
I like the aggressive move, and then you add Phil Kessel, which makes everybody in Pittsburgh like me cry a little bit inside. But at
that
the
doesn't
same
affect
time,
the Wheels draft grade.
well, it was a post-draft move, Sean. They did it out of need, and they said, "Hey, we didn't get this guy in the draft," and then they asked. So,
all right, on to the Bruins.
we're grading the stuff today.
Well, the Wheel may or may not be. We don't know its conscience.
You created the wheel what? Yesterday or today?
Yesterday.
Good enough.
It gave the Boston Bruins a C.
Only one pick, and it was late in the draft.
Yep.
I mean, that's to be expected. You're not going to get any NHL ready guys at this point in the draft, so you're taking a flyer on a more raw prospect.
Fair enough. So you think they have to make a big splash in free agency?
No. I think they need to pack up the window and rebuild for a few years.
All right, well, on to the Sabres, whom also get a B. Well, today the Wheel just loves the B.
It's the big baller brand of wheel.
If I remember correctly, they had the last pick of the first round, and they also had a middle pick.
No, just the last pick.
Oh, okay.
I believe just the last pick. And yeah, for me, given how they fell off in the second half, they probably should have traded up to add some depth, maybe to an immediate roster spot. They did not do that. And so I don't see yet that they've really done anything outside of re-signing Skinner that really, bolsters this team and improves it for now.
Okay.
So for me, I go lower.
Okay. Well, on to the Flames. The Flames also get a B. I guess Boston just got the wrong end of the stick today so far.
Yeah, that sounds like Boston.
Yeah, so I mean, the Flames get a B. What else is new?
I mean, you elaborate on it, what your thoughts are.
I mean, I just think this Wheel is biased towards that letter.
Okay, so you're not going to go into any actual hockey knowledge. You're just.
I mean, I don't necessarily think. I think they could have been on the lower end for this draft. But I mean, again, I don't think it's too much lower. I think maybe like a C of actual rating would have been correct, just based on how things are going.
Mm-hmm. Well, I ask you because you are more, despite the shirt that I'd be wearing. So I must deflect to you every so.
True. Anyway, on to your hometown team.
Nope.
The Carolina Hurricanes.
I've disassociated with the store from the state of North Carolina.
Well, they get a D. I don't
Good.
necessarily agree with this one, if you're gonna ask me.
I don't care.
Huh?
Yeah, I mean, we both said or agreed earlier they got a guy that probably fell into their lap. So
Yeah. So yeah, I don't. I think the Wheels just doesn't like him. So Blackhawks is next. Will they get our first A or our first F?
F, probably more likely.
They get the first F.
Nailed it.
Yeah. I guess the Wheel is just tired of the Blackhawks winning all those years ago, so it just wants them to stay in the dumps some more.
Yeah, I mean, it's only really been 2 years.
True.
2 years isn't really a long time in the dumpster. I mean, ask the Coyotes. It's been like 25 years.
Have they ever gotten out of it is the real question.
They made the Western Conference Finals the years that you guys made the finals last.
True.
And they played the Blackhawks that year.
Yep. Anyway, the Avalanche are next.
Could see the number of picks that a contender had.
Well, they get an F also.
Well, F you.
I really don't think they actually deserve that grade.
Really? You don't say.
Probably like B plus or A in my opinion, actually, for their draft.
Yeah, well, B plus isn't on the wheel.
Yeah. Fair enough. So, now the Columbus Blue Jackets.
Okay. F.
Nope.
Well, A, they didn't have a first round pick.
They get a D. So they only got slightly better, maybe because they had multiple picks in the later round.
D for we traded Duchesne for I can't talk right now. D for we traded for Duchesne, and that's why we don't have a pick.
Yep. But hey, you can't fault Yarmo. That was a gut move, and he did it. So.
Yeah, but did you really expect cup winners when you haven't made first round before?
No, but he at least made it past one round.
Right, but you don't make you make the incremental steps move. You buy into cup winners once you hit the conference finals one. At least hit second round and then next year buy for trying to get to the cup final.
Okay.
Baby steps.
Yeah, but I mean, he was
one,
losing
then
Panarin
two,
and
then
Bobrovsky
2 to
anyway.
4. I guess, but that's more reason to keep draft pick.
Fair enough. All right.
When
anyway.
your two best players are already going to lead 1-4.
Fair enough. Anyway, on to the Stars.
Big time spin. Give me that big time spin.
They get a B.
Mm-hmm.
What
are your thoughts? What's on your mind?
I mean, I really, even though I know more about hockey, I really only know about the higher tier prospects, like the first rounder, maybe early second rounder prospects. So when it comes to judging the later rounds, it's kind of tough.
So it's one of the boomer bust potentially.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. Let's see. Detroit's on the clock.
They are. And do they get our first day? No, they get a C.
I mean, they had how many picks? Let's see. I'll look into that while I continue to talk. All right, they had the 6th pick, and that was it.
That's it in the first.
Yeah, in the first. So, I mean, ideally, a team that's rebuilding like the Red Wings probably needs to have a couple more.
But I mean, I think like at least in hockey, we do have 7 rounds, and you do get the players that come out of those lower rounds if you can find them. So I mean, you are probably looking like your draft grade probably does drive mostly from the first 2 rounds, but as long as you've done like okay in them, you're pretty good with this year B in most cases.
Okay.
On to the Oilers.
You've convinced me. Oilers. Well, they didn't get Kako to fall into their at 8, so I'm thinking F.
You would be correct. They get an F.
Should have traded up if you wanted him. He was right there for the taking. It's a shame.
Yeah, no, but I really thought like Podkolzin would actually go around like their pick. So I actually would have preferred probably them picking Podkolzin or something. But then again, they've ruined enough offensive prospects for me to want a offensive prospect to go there.
Yeah, they'll never have success. Not since Gretzky left.
All right, on to the Panthers.
F. Because it's still the Florida Panthers.
You would be correct.
That and they were the first team to draft a goaltender in the draft this Luongo retires, so really they don't address an immediate, solution because a goaltender just can't be put in net like that. I
Yeah,
don't
but
feel
I
like
mean,
at the
there's
ninth
quite a bit
overall.
of goaltenders in free agency to like hold you over.
Yeah.
While you build the other pieces.
Yeah.
Also,
well, they
real
also
talk,
just traded away Reimer.
Yeah. But real talk, Luongo's tweet for retirement was hilarious.
Hanging the pads on the power line. You gotta love it.
So, yeah. But, yeah, I don't know. Like, taking a goalie that early is quite a risk. So, that we'll see how that pans out. But they took a huge risk. And
Yes,
now
they
the
did.
Kings. Do you think they get our first day?
Nope.
What's with this wheel and giving out A's? They get a D.
I don't know, maybe because it knew that they gave out a bunch of A's during the NBA one year. Oh yeah, it's the LA Kings. They still have Kovalchuk on the roster.
That doesn't affect their draft grade, but whatever.
It affects their drafting decision making.
Fair enough. Okay. We'll take that. Anyway, on to the Wild. And they get an F.
Maybe because they should have traded up that one spot or traded up or down that one spot to get Matthew Boldy out.
I don't know.
Too much of a risk at the pick that they were already at.
Yeah. No, I think they deserve like a solid B or something.
Well, I'm sure you'll be the one to give
Anyway, now the Canadian.
F.
Why did they get an F? They didn't pick Ryan Suzuki earlier?
I don't know. They didn't trade away a pick to PK Subban back.
Oh, okay. Well, they do get an F. So you would be correct. Which is
Tell you, man, they haven't made it past the first round in the playoffs since they got rid of Pete.
They got Weber.
Never let him go. Yeah, but they didn't make it past the second round of the playoffs.
Anyway, on to the Predators, which
I'm right.
Which they traded PK Subban to the Devils for some picks. So let's see. The Wheel spoken, and they get a C. What do you think about that one?
I mean, the bulk of what they did to trade away PK in order to go after free agents, which was kind of a weird move to me because they still had that window of competing, and I think they risk chemistry in doing so. So,
But they needed him off the cap if they want to have a chance at Duchesne. So
true, but they didn't need Duchesne.
I think they did need offense more so because they have a solid. They have 5 or 6 solid D-men already. So
yeah, but you can increase offense in increments with supplemental pieces. You don't need Duchesne, and Duchesne is not going to solve all the.
Oh no, I completely agree. But it's the off season, the
So
time of a loaded contract.
I think it's a little risky, and that C is warranted.
Okay, so on to the Devils. Do they get our first day?
Yes.
No. They get an F. How? How do they get an F, Jeremy?
Because the wheel in the section with the F is
Okay. Okay.
Red like the Devils, Sean.
All right. We'll move on. Let's get to the Islanders. The Islanders also get an F. Why is this?
Because they're the Islanders and they play in crappy ass Coliseum.
They're still splitting time this season, right?
Who cares? They can't
Well,
fill
I
the
mean, hold on.
Barclays.
Would you rather play in the Coliseum or the Barclays
I'd rather
Center?
play in the Coliseum just to sell out seats. But the fact of the matter is, either way, it's not the right place. They need to be in Hartford, Connecticut.
I
Bring
think
back the
the
Whalers.
Coliseum is better than the Barclays Center, at least. So, but they can get an F too, as long as the Rangers do also. But we'll see. Watch the Rangers get like an A because I said that. Nope, the Rangers get a D. Now, why would they get a D when the Devils got an F?
I'll tell you why, Sean. It's called the tri-state. Was it? I'm trying to think of a word here. The tri-state, like trio. There it is. The tri-state trio, and everybody fails together.
Oh, but they just didn't fail as much.
I mean, 2 Fs and a D averaged out, so pretty much an F.
Yeah, fair enough. Okay. On to the Ottawa Senators.
Well, plus they still have Lundqvist. Or whatever's left of them.
So the Ottawa Senators also get an F. Dude, this wheel is really hating on the NHL draft, man.
Oh, well, green means go.
I guess it's just telling Ottawa that it doesn't have its crap together, even with the draft. So.
Well, yeah, you needed a wheel to tell you the Ottawa shit together.
No, I didn't. So.
I'm not even the hockey guy on this panel, and I know.
The Flyers get a D. So are they affected by the tri-state syndrome?
No.
Oh.
We don't need them in this tri-state.
Okay. On to the Penguins.
They can be in the Camden duo. That Camden, Philadelphia, beautiful place.
Okay.
Duo, just where everybody gets shot.
Pittsburgh gets a B. What do you have to say about that?
I'd prefer if they drafted a guy. I mean, as good of a scorer as he was at number 21, a guy that does not have a horse face. He's got a really big mouth and it kind of scares. So I'm sure he'll actually be the one pick that they don't trade away, despite the fact that looking at him in a Penguins, and if I have to look at his mouth for the next 10 years, I'd rather that he be the one prospect that got traded.
Okay.
Again, nothing based on skill, just purely the fact that Sam Poulian looks like, oh my god, what the hell happened to his...
Okay.
He got ironed.
On to the Sharks. The Sharks get a B. What's so entertaining to that side?
I saw something going on.
Oh. Okay, well, the Sharks get a B. I don't know. I didn't really pay attention to their part of the draft, so.
Yeah, no. Really, you don't say. I was the Twitter coverage at night.
Yeah, but I was like definitely dying. So
Sean was dying and nobody sent them to get well cards. Everybody should feel bad.
Yeah, so anyway, St. Louis Blues now. After their run, what do you think?
I think despite the fact that they had no first round pick, this is going to be an A in the draft.
Nope, they get a B because they had no first round pick. They can't get an A apparently.
I was close.
Yeah. So now on to the Tampa Bay Lightning. Since their sad exit from the playoffs, do you think they made their splash well in the draft to get an
A? No.
No?
No. I mean, they have plenty of depth.
So they get an F.
Yeah, but they didn't need a good... They have plenty of depth still.
Okay. Yeah, so on to the Maple Leafs. If I'm not mistaken, they had a trade for a pick, right? Marlowe or something? Or
Yeah, but I don't know. It was a first round. Let's see.
Well, whatever
Oh wait,
they
you're
did.
right. You were right on the Sabres. They did draft twice in that round.
Oh, okay.
Spoiler alert. No, but the Maple Leafs did not draft in the first.
Yeah, I know that I said they were part of a trade. I didn't know what yet, but
Yeah, and then Marlowe got bought out by the Hurricanes. So
yep.
Marlowe had no desire for playing on an up and coming.
Yep. So on to the Canucks. If I'm not mistaken, they are the ones that drafted Podkolzin, so they get an A in my book.
I thought his name was Dylan Cousins. Oh, right. You're just saying the last name.
Vasily Podkolzin?
Yeah, I thought you were talking about Dylan Cousins.
No.
Hockey names are difficult, man.
Well, the wheel says they get a D for drafting one of my favorite players in this draft.
Well, yeah, because this guy's first name can either be spelled with it ending with an I at the end of it, or it's like make up your mind.
Okay, on to the Golden Knights.
He's had it too good for too long.
Did they get our first A?
Yeah.
No, they get a D.
Oh.
Dang. Apparently everybody did terrible in this draft.
You know what it is? The wheel is the Russian judge. It's the judge at the slam dunk contest that never gives the 10.
So they'll give the Capitals an A
We'll find out.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, let's find out.
There's only so many slots left.
No, they give the Capitals an F.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's just finish
Say
it out with
that
the
in
Jets
all
to see.
cap.
So let's just finish out with the Jets to see how bad every team in this draft has actually done.
B.
No, they end this thing with also an F.
Shout out to the Canadian God.
So yeah, as you can see, what do you think of our draft of the Wheels draft grades, Jeremy? Highest grades are B. Lowest, we actually have a ton of Fs.
Well, I mean, it's kind of like the NFL draft. You don't really know how it's out until like 2 or 3 years later. But the fact of the matter is, it's also not like the NBA where you can tell immediately, what a prospect is going to look like. They got minor league to consider, and first round picks don't always mean anything. But the fact of the matter is, the wheel got mad.
So the wheel
doesn't like when too many picks go away from what it's.
So the wheel's given 13 teams an F.
That's fine. There's 31 teams. This is why the NHL expanded. Was
okay.
to handle criticism like this.
Okay. Anyway, on to our next segment, which is free agency wheel spin.
Spin that.
Do you want to explain
wheel.
this one, Jeremy?
Yeah, so why don't you give me another graphic and I'll explain how it's going to work. Yes. What we're going to do, we've got a wheel full of the top 50-ish free agents that we took a couple names off because of a so 48-ish free agents. We're going to do a snake draft, meaning that we're going to start at San Jose, then go to St. Louis, Nashville, Columbus, Anaheim, then Arizona, Dallas, New Jersey, Tampa, etc., etc. Your classic snake draft. And every team is ideally going to pick up a free agent. We're going to see for who. We have also 2 hidden wheels that will say the contract duration and how much money per year.
Yep, so let's just start it by seeing who San Jose picks in or signs in free agency.
And also, we did this on our NBA special the other day, so be sure to check that out.
So apparently, they sign Anders Lee.
Anders Lee. All right.
So,
and the tweet machine will be up for that.
We're doing term first. So term, they sign him for 6 years. And we have the wheel ticking between minimum and what a normal max contract would be. But they signed him for 6 years, 8 mil per year.
All right, that's a hefty load, but for a captain of the island, I mean, I guess you gotta take it.
Yeah. So on to the St. Louis Blues. What splash do they make in free agency now that they just won?
Already been.
Apparently, they signed Joe Thornton.
All right, hold on. Let me get the tweet machine fired up here. Joe Thornton to the Blues.
Yeah, like that's actually gonna happen. And they signed him for, if this is like a lot of years, they signed him for 6 years. What the heck? 6 years.
He spun the same wheel twice.
No, I didn't.
Yes, he did. It says 6 years again. Oh, there you go.
And then, how much do they pay this guy?
$8 million a year.
Nope, 6 mil.
Oh, the broadcast lied to me. All right.
So, on to the Nashville Predators. They sign Wayne. They don't go for Matt Duchene. They sign Wayne Simmons.
Ooh, so he resigns.
Yeah, apparently. How long do you think they signed him for? 6 years again?
1 year.
Not 6, but 3 years.
All right, then it's definitely got to be like at least $6 million a year.
Again, you want 6 million?
I didn't want $6 million last time. That's just what you said it was.
Oh no, they signed him for 3 years, 10 million per year.
That's wildly insane. All right, and that's been tweeted out to the public.
Wait.
All of these just say sources and then player to the team and, stuff like that.
Okay, and now the Blue Jackets. How do they recover from their travesty of the playoffs and signing? Apparently, their answer is Marcus Johansson.
That actually wouldn't be a horrible move for them. Marcus Johansson. Make sure, yeah. I needed enough time to spell that right, so thank you for giving me that window.
Okay, but they signed him for 7 years.
Yeah. Okay. I'm digging this. Not gonna have anybody leaving for free.
And
after everybody leaves,
$4 million.
That's wildly underpaying.
Yeah. So I don't know how they convinced him to that one.
Boardman gets paid. Small money, but gets paid.
On to the Ducks.
Alright. The Duck. Hashtag Anaheim hockey.
They signed Dan Girardi.
That's really sad. Especially because they just got rid of Corey Perry and they're replacing him with another older, or they're not replacing him, but adding a roster full of older players.
Yeah. And how long are they gonna hold this older player for? Oh, well, 7 years.
Oh boy! But there hasn't been anything this comical since we did March Madness. Might this be the official summer of bloated contracts? Ooh, Phil Kessel and Matt Duchene. What a combo. All that anybody ever needed. Hold on a sec. Let's see here. Matt Duchene to the Coyotes, right? Years. Oh yeah, I mean, I think that's cool. That's crazy. All right, you're gonna have to give me a second here. Make sure that I have some time to spell here. Anton Strawman. Gotcha. And he's going to the Devils or Stars. My apologies. Oh yeah, what I was thinking was stupid. That's not yet. Patrick Marleau will be the first one. Money, 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 money. Can't make this stuff up, folks. Despite the fact that we clearly are. What? Phil Kessel. I spelled Matt Duchene wrong in the last. My apologies. People might think that this is not real. All right, to the Devils. How are you feeling about that, big? Ooh, I bet he's gonna get an 8-year deal. Bang! Stuck with him like he was Corey Schneider. Oh, I mean, you gotta give him a max deal. This is $12 million per year. I mean, he's an up and coming older prospect. Ooh, when I'm 64, because it's 8 times. And that tweet is now in the universe. How does that make you feel? Ooh. They bring back Braden Point if they're smart. What are they, the new Caps? To the Lightning. I'm guessing this is a 2-year deal. Close enough. I mean, it's the closest to a short-term contract that we've had. Well, no, we didn't have any that were only signed for one. Yeah, I'm just saying that the closest to 1 year and 2 years so far that we've pulled is. Oh, silly me. My apologies, sir. Yeah. To the Maple Leafs. To the Maple Leafs.
The Maple Leafs signed Joe Pavelski.
Pavelski?
Yeah. Wheel, I don't know how much you got going for you.
Well, this is why you get rid of Marleau to bring in another former Shark who is probably getting close to the point of not being able to be that.
But that's why he needs a 7-year contract.
Well, yeah, of course. I mean, Marleau only got 4. That's where they made the mistake. They didn't pay Marleau for long enough.
Oh, okay. But he also gets basically max at $12 million. I don't even think the Maple Leafs have that much room.
Mitch Marner is not coming back.
Yeah, the Maple Leafs don't even have that much room. On to the Islanders.
I mean, that contract is so long that Joe Thornton's beard is going to be all gray by the time that
Pavelski retired.
Islanders.
They signed Peter Mrazek. What do you think?
Well, I mean, Robin Leonard is a free agent, so sight of what's to come.
Fair enough. How long are they stuck with this guy?
I'm gonna guess this one's a 2-year.
Nope, it's a 5-year.
Oh, DiPietro money is surely to come.
Oh God, aren't they still paying him?
Oh yeah, wasn't that like a 20-year deal?
Yeah, something like that. For $6 million.
No, it's not as bad as some of the other ones we've recently.
No, but I mean, still.
It's not great.
On to the Red Wings. They signed Brandon Tanev.
Oh yeah, DiPietro's contract was only 15 years. My apologies.
Oh,
that was
just 5 years off. No big deal.
Well, now because of they're gonna be paying him till 2029. Wait, Tanev to the Red Wings.
Yep. For 6 years.
Wings up.
And
I don't even have. I copy and paste the tweet. I don't even have to change it because it's just 6 years every single time.
for $3 million a year.
Okay, you know what for the Red Wings and how in the past they've given real contracts, 6 years and $3 million per year is like a solid deal.
Yeah.
Ezerman takes the throne and he's like, no more over. We're still going to give them way too many years, but we're not going to overpay.
Hey, that's something. On to the Bruins. What do you want to see for the Bruins? I mean, unfortunately, they have to sign somebody, according to this.
I want to see ESPN NBA insider Chris Broussard.
No, they sign Artemi Panarin.
Oh, of course they did. Because they've had it so hard for so long.
Yep.
Watch, this will be a 1-year deal.
Max
because
contract.
he's like the top, guy on the list.
Oh yeah, it's definitely a 1-year deal.
You know when it's coming.
Yeah.
Sometime.
Do you think max money?
No, I think that this is going to be like $4 million.
No, it's not that bad. It's 8 mil. On to the Sabres.
I feel weird toying with Boston fans right now, but be like, oh, we're getting Panarin?
The Sabres signed Corey Perry.
That's actually not a bad move for them if it's not an overkill contract.
I would actually agree with you.
Which is exactly why we're about to see some record numbers go up, probably.
Yeah. Huh, 5 years. That's not too bad.
He's 34 right now, Sean.
Yeah, but I mean, how long? You're still looking for how much? Okay. It's probably a little bit bad. 5 years, 5 mil per year.
5 years and $5 million.
On to the Oilers. What veteran now are they going to ruin for the rest of their life?
Is Ron Haynes even?
No. How about
I think
Colin
he is
Wilson?
a free agent. He's a veteran, but not that old.
Yeah, true. But, I mean, it also depends on how long they sign them for. They only get him for 3 years. So he's like, I don't want you to ruin me for too long. But how much do they have to pay him? Real question. 3 mil a year. What do you think of this contract?
I mean, it's very un-Oilers-esque. 3 years, $3 million. That's not bad.
Yep. On to the Rangers. They sign Michael Furlan.
Furland. Sounds like a name that would go great for New Yorkers to like the one name that they. It's Young Lundqvist and Furland. Just the easiest names for them to.
Well, I mean, they gotta know this guy because he's there for 5 years, dude.
Well, yeah. Those morons.
5-year, $9 million contract.
Oh, boy.
Weren't they trying to, build for the
Rebuild.
future?
Out the window, I guess.
Yeah, man. Straight out the window.
Straight out the window where all the New York City pigeons.
On to the Canucks. who will have the unfortunate time of finding a home in Vancouver? Apparently, it's Justin Williams.
Well, that's actually not a bad pull for them. It's a bad pull for Justin Williams, but not so much for the Canucks. Because the Canucks right now do not have that.
True. Well, Justin Williams apparently agrees to signing with them for 3 years.
I mean, his play hasn't really slowed down any.
Yeah.
He's been healthy. But that day will come where that changes.
But he signs a 3-year, $1 million average annual value contract.
That's a steal. You take that if you're Vancouver. Absolutely, you take that. That's very little on the.
Yeah, if I'm Justin Williams, I'm not happy though.
I'm Justin Williams. I'm just happy to be out of Rock.
On to the Golden Knights. Oh, okay. Apparently, I'm pretty sure they're re-signing Pierre-Edouard Bellemare.
I believe so.
But they chose Bellemare over.
I'm gonna need you to hold on before you change this wheel.
But you can't see the PowerPoint?
No, I just needed the Bellemare part. I got it.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
For how long do they re-sign this guy?
Oh, I mean, he's in his 30s, so you gotta think 7 years.
Close. A nice 6 years.
And I bet it's for $6 million per.
You would love to see that, won't you?
Well, if so, then I don't have to change the tweet.
It's for $12 million per.
It's a lot for a defenseman.
Yeah.
Oh no, not 21 million per, 12 million. There we go. We want it to be realistic. We want it to be realistic.
No team is gonna sign somebody for half their cap space.
Not half. It's a mere third.
Quarter of their cap space.
It's a mere third.
Definitely a quarter. On to the Ottawa Senators.
Diamond?
Who will join their perpetual rebuild? Pat Maroon, apparently.
Gross.
You think he could work there? I'm skeptical.
I don't think he wants to work there.
I'm skeptical. Oh, apparently the wheel says he wants to work there because he signed there for 6 years.
Oh boy, this is becoming less fun when the wheel just does the same thing every time.
I know, right? But they had to pay him $9 million per year.
I mean, yeah. Why would I leave my home
to play for that team?
Yeah, exactly.
All right, I'm on the Florida Panthers, aren't I?
Yep. Unfortunately, you're on the Florida Panthers. That's what everybody says.
Yo. They sign Devontae Smith-Pelly.
Oh boy. Didn't even get
the one guy who won the cup with the Caps that they just didn't want apparently. And got back.
I am leaving.
So, how long did they take?
17 years.
I can't.
This is a DiPietro kind of contract coming.
They signed him for 3 years.
Same thing. Divisible by except not.
You have to go to Miami, Florida as a hockey player. It's close.
Not Miami, it's Sunrise.
Oh,
it's like an hour away from Miami.
And they got him for $1 million per year.
That's depressing.
I would be super depressed.
Florida's one of those states where 1 million have some in some places.
I mean, he doesn't get taxed basically, so
He ain't even about that. He ain't about that.
On to the Flames.
I would ask for the money up front.
They sign Thomas Vanek? I don't know.
Thomas Vanek?
Yeah. Vanek. For 2 years.
I was about to say. And I'm guessing for 12 million per. Actually, no, 10 million. 10 million.
And for 4 million. On to the Hurricanes, your hometown team, dude.
Stop saying that, or I'm gonna come to New Jersey and punch you in the face.
Anyway,
I don't like this state. It's full of weirdos and corny people.
They sign Ryan Dzingel.
Who cares? This is just basically like an expansion team. Like,
hey, you can't say they weren't entertaining last year.
I can say a lot of things. I think Evander Holyfield was entertaining when he was at the Hurricanes game. I can't say that the Hurricanes were entertaining.
6-year contract for Ryan Dzingel with the Hurricanes. So how is our wheel doing so far, do you think?
Oh, it's doing amazing, Sean. What do you think?
I think half these contracts are hilarious. For
$10
million per year.
I think that falls within the scope of what the definition of amazing could be.
Yeah. On to the Kings.
More like the Queens.
Who do they get?
Ilya Kovalchuk again.
Well, they can't. Oh, they signed Jake Gardner.
Cool.
I doubt they actually have the room for him. They signed him for. Oh, he gets 6 years.
I just deleted the 6.
You should know the wheel loves 6, so you shouldn't delete it until I say something.
The wheel might be one with the devil with the number of times it brings up a
6 years, 7 million per year.
I mean, Kovalchuk kind of contracts now.
Yeah. On to the Flyers.
A half-eaten Wawa sandwich.
I don't think that's a valid player to sign in free agency.
They'll find a way.
But
They'll
apparently Richard Panik is.
He's actually good. I prefer he not go to the Flyers.
Don't we all? But unfortunately, the wheel says they get him for 5 years.
They'll find a way to score a lot. Philly, believe you go hard.
And they had to pay him 11 million per year.
What a dummy.
On to the Capitals. They sign Tobias Reeder.
Tobias Reeder. Never heard of him.
He's
Have you?
Decent. I've heard of him.
Good enough to be on the wheel.
They signed him for 3 years.
And 11.
What's your guess? I'm gonna say like 6
I just said 11.
million. Okay. They signed him for 2 million.
I can't even make math jokes with how, like, I guess 11 and it's 2. It's like, I can't even say it's
All right.
like easily divisible. All right, so we have next the Winnipeg Jets.
Yep. And
Jets.
wrong sport.
Jets. Yeah, I just said
They
not
signed
the Jets.
Valtteri Filppula.
Well, not a bad replacement for a couple of the names that they would lose this year. It's
True.
not exactly a popular sign, but
No. But, I mean, I do think they could probably do better.
it's definitely a hole filler.
Mm-hmm. But how long is that hole going to be filled for?
2 years.
7 years.
Oh, wow. I mean, lock them up.
Isn't he getting on the older side too?
Yeah, I think he's been on the older side. Let's find
God.
out.
That hole filler is expensive. For 7 years, they pay him 11 million.
Not 7-Eleven. Valtteri Filppula is already 35.
Dang. Okay.
That's money you're not going to get back.
Yeah. On to the Penguins.
This is going to sting, I'm sure.
Yup. Apparently, Matt Murray's not enough for you, so you guys signed Sergei Bobrovsky.
You know, it was weird. I was thinking we were probably going to get a goaltender this time. You know what? It's probably an upgrade. Matt Murray's kind of been shaky the past year.
Okay.
In GMJR, I trust.
Yeah, but if you're going to sign Bobrovsky, you got to sign him for a long time.
By the way, we have 2 Matt Murrays who are goaltenders.
Wait, what? So you signed Sergei
One's in
Bobrovsky for
development
6
camp
years.
right now. Yeah. We have another Matt Murray who's in camp right now.
Oh, okay. You signed Sergei Bobrovsky.
And he's a goaltender, too.
6 years, 8 million per year. What do you think?
I mean, it can't be worse than that Jack John contract we gave out last year.
All right. On to the Wild.
As in, it's wild to think that there's 2 Matt Murrays on the Penguins and they both play
Goalie.
Both of them.
Okay. The Wild sign Curtis McElhinney. What do you think? Do the Wild actually need a goaltender?
I mean, he wasn't going to stay in Carolina.
True.
This is, I mean, if they're smart, they give him like a 2-year.
They do give him a 2-year deal.
And then $2 million per.
How much was he making before?
I don't know. He was the backup goaltender for Carolina. He probably wasn't making that.
True. Oh, they pay him 3 million per. So not bad. Would you agree? This is actually like a decent signing.
I mean, that was only $1 million projection. That's just
that
good negotiating tactic.
Decent signing. So on to the Blackhawks. The Blackhawks take Derek Engelland away from Vegas.
Wait, how do we go from the Penguins to the Wild?
Because of the number of teams.
So it's a snake draft.
Yeah. Number of teams. It actually jumps up a little bit.
Let's see. Derek Engelland to the Who's?
To the Blackhawks. he's taken away from his hometown where he declared that he wanted to stay. So I don't know how good he'll be for Chicago. I mean, he really found his second wind in Vegas, so taking him away from Vegas is probably not a good idea. But apparently an 8-year contract gets him away from Vegas.
I mean, for an 8-year contract, you can probably buy a few homes in Vegas and just call it home.
True. It's also an 8-year max contract for an aging defenseman.
$12 million per year.
Okay, and on to our last two teams. The Avalanche and the Canadiens. Who do we want to see go to the Avalanche?
Someone on the wheel.
Well, someone on the wheel's correct. Apparently, Brian Boyle goes to the Avalanche.
That's kind of corny. I don't think of an enforcer wearing an jersey.
Yeah, I really don't either.
The maroon just doesn't really pop and say, I'm about to.
Well, apparently they're signing Boyle for 7 years, which is probably outrageous. What do you think?
Oh, it's worked before. Don't ask me where it's worked, but
7 years, $5 million average annual value. So he's getting quite a pay increase and quite a length of contract increase. What do you think?
I mean, he's gonna hit his prime eventually, right?
Okay. On to the last team. So the Canadiens, who do they get from the remainder? Because they were just so late into this draft.
Radulov is gonna resign.
Nope, they get Alex Chiasson.
Oh boy, that's a Chai Tyson.
However you pronounce it. I'm sorry.
I was making a joke that it starts with Chai, like Chai.
Anyway, so they sign him for 3 years. And what do you think? Max deal?
Oh,
that would be hilarious.
I think we have to end on a number that we haven't picked before. I'm thinking $4 million.
Nope, it's max deal.
God damn it.
We have to end on max deal, dude. Unfortunately, it wasn't 8 years max deal, but
dude, it's another max deal, man.
Man, did we not actually roll 4 million? No, we did.
Oh, we did?
Marcus
I just
Johansson.
don't remember it.
It was all the way at the beginning.
Oh, wow. Would you look at that son
And
of a...
Vanek.
Did we ever have a 5 million?
Yeah, we had a couple. Boyle was a 5 million, which was the one before.
Are there any numbers that we didn't have one? Did we have a 7 million?
That might be... No, that might be the number.
Yeah, we did.
Oh, yep.
Jake Gardner.
What about year lengths? Did we cover them all? I see 6, 3, 7, 1, 5, 2.
Do we have a 4?
4. Do we have
Where do you see a
5-year deal? No, okay. 5,
Okay.
sorry. I don't see a 4.
Ooh. Drama.
No, so the only number didn't get picked was 4 years, huh?
Crazy. This league, man.
Yeah.
It's something else. When you're busy sucking on your own popsicle full of NBA, you don't know what's going on in the hockey world. There's a lot going on in these streets.
Yeah. So I don't know. Some of these contracts are absolutely hilarious. Like Joe Pavelski, 7 years max contract. Are you kidding?
It'll only be more funny if it actually happens.
Yeah. So hopefully we get some funny things.
Yeah, we can only hope.
Yeah. So that's our NHL special. Thanks
Don't
for
forget
tuning
to
in,
be
guys.
tuning in on Twitter for all the new stuff.